Penn State. Who saw that coming?
Not me. I had Texas A&M in the Elite Eight.
I
dead
had
wrong
Penn
on
State.
that.
Okay, I had Penn State winning that game, but I did not have them winning by 20.
There's a lot of games that I thought it was going to hit, and then they completely fell apart. I had Purdue going in my Final Four, and they get knocked out in the first rounds. Who would have thought that? So with March Madness, you can't honestly bet on certain games and think because they're a high seed that they're going to win.
These first 2 days, I'm betting baby little bets. I want to see a game. I want to see how a team plays. So I saw Penn State play, and I saw Texas play. This Penn State team is scrappy. Remember, they hadn't been to the tournament in like a decade.
They would have made it in the COVID year. They got screwed. They probably would have been like a 4th seed.
I'm a San Diego State alum. Please don't remind me of that year. We were number 4 in the nation. We had 3 senior, 5 fifth-year guys at a game. Bringing up the COVID year, that was disrespectful. I thought you were my friend. The Bruins, the guys, remember we talked about the thread they gave out. They gave out both Penn State and Northwestern yesterday. I hit a 6-teamer yesterday. It was pretty nice. It was a moneyline 6-teamer, but you know what? It paid 2-1. Bottom line is I gave you 20, I got back 40. I'll take that all day long. But what do you think about the Bruins, guys? They're good.
UCLA
but the Pac-12 good.
UCLA was actually my favorite coming into the conference tournaments before they started, but then Jalen Clark got hurt the semifinals of that Pac-12 tournament in the USC game, and it looked like it affected them in the finals against Arizona. Arizona already lost, but even before that, I didn't really think they were that good of a team anyway.
Hold on, I got to take this call. Bill Walton's calling me in. Hold on, let me see what he says, and I'll get back to you. They don't have Bill Walton calling the UCLA games in the tournament. I get him. We get late Pac-12 games. You know how they say when there's an anchor man and anchor woman, the anchor man always makes more money, right, than the anchor woman?
Yep.
I don't know how much you're paying Bill Walton. The guy that has to try to hold on to that conversation and figure out what the hell he just said has got to get double pay. He just goes on and on and on. It's amazing. He just rambles.
Yeah, I like UCLA a lot before that. Their defense is fantastic. I think they're the number 1 in terms of the KenPom analytic, but Jalen Clark was a big part of that on the perimeter, and Northwestern can shoot the 3. So I think this will still be a very tough game. I would probably favor UCLA to win a close one just because Northwestern's a little more experienced, but depending on what the spread is, I could see Northwestern covering and making this game close because they're one of the better 7 seeds, middle seeds in this tournament. They shoot free throws really well and play good defense.
That could be a high-scoring game. That could be an over game. Alabama was my play. So my bracket has Alabama and 3 number 2s. My number 2s are still all alive.
I was right about St. Mary's, by the way. Everybody was picking VCU, and VCU got crushed.
They beat the Gonzaga recently. They're playing good. Got Alabama, and so when I got them, first, when I said I was going to bet them, they were 6.75. They're 6.75 to 1 is plus 6.75. When I get there in the morning the next day, they're plus 750. They'd gone up. And then they just dominated something. So now they're down to 500. So I have 2 tickets, one for Prop Swap, one for me, for $20 to make $150, right? Somebody gives you $20, Errol, and then you get $150, or you give somebody $20, they come back later in the day, they give you $150. Wouldn't you give them $20 the next day too?
Absolutely.
If they dominate again, they'll go even lower. They'll go probably plus 425, maybe. If they can get to plus 420, we can talk about it on Wake and Bake.
Yeah, their next matchup is against UConn, 5-4 matchup on Sunday. Yeah. And UConn is one of the 5 teams in the NCAA that are top 50 in both offense and defense overall from a scoring perspective. And St. Mary's, they've always been known for their defense, like your Aztecs, Chaz, but their offense, not great, but they showed up against VCU.
We watched that UConn game, St. Patrick's Day. I was in a bar in Little Italy in New Haven, so there was no green in the bar at all, and they were watching UConn. At halftime, I said, you know what? I'm not touching that game. I'm not betting them. They look terrible. And then the next thing we saw the score, they won by 20.
The last one is your Alabama and Maryland.
My assumption is Alabama's going to dominate the game. They're the best team. Eventually, they're going to have to play somebody good, too. You know, the numbers of 1s or number 2s. But until they get to next week, Alabama's the team to beat. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah. They're my national champion.
So.
Well, their number 2 is already out. Princeton knocks out Arizona. They would have blown out Arizona, I think, too. I think the only teams to watch out for is whoever wins that Creighton-Baylor matchup. They're probably the only good teams in that region. Creighton has the offense to do it. Baylor has the experience and somewhat of the defense to be able to try to do it. Even them defensively this year hasn't been as good as their national championship team either.
There's some guys that are really into this bracket. I'm not into the bracket thing. I'm looking to find some opportunities where there's a team that's really, really a better team, giving a lot of points, and they get behind a little early and they come back and they win the game outright. That's not happening on Thursday and Friday. They're holding on to win.